Welcome to We Are Venomaniacs, the Venom Site's official podcast for all of your symbiote news, reviews, and point of views. My name is Orion, and I'm joined by my fellow co-hosts, Tyler and Aaron. Say hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
In this episode, we're reviewing most of the symbiote comics released in April 2021, including Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #2, SpiderMan, Spider Shadow #1, and the last of the King in Black tie-ins. Let's go ahead and start with Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #2. Again, this issue features three different tales, so we'll start with the first one, which is Carnage Shark. Writer Donny Cates, artist Kyle Holtz, and colorist Michelle Rosenberg takes us to the final moments of King in Black from Carnage's perspective and provides a sneak peek at Eddie and Venom's new status quo moving forward as the new King in Black. So what were your guys' thoughts on this one? I thought it was pretty decent, and I thought it was pretty telling that we're going to see what Eddie and Venom are going to be like moving forward in like number 200 and whatever.
Yeah, I think the part I like most about this that it is a continuation of what we not only Carnage but then also Eddie's new role, and just the fact that we sneak peek at that. And I don't know if Eddie was going to continue being the god of the symbiotes, but it is cool that we got to see this little bit from it, and just I do really like that. It continued, like, Carnage has been swimming the whole time.
Just keep swimming.
Yeah, like I like how he's decided like just to be a shark for like a few weeks or months, I guess, and just wants to, hang out and just eat everything. And
Look,
then,
he doesn't have a
one
compass.
time he comes to the surface, it's like, oh yeah, but like the one time he comes to the surface, that's when he gets messed up. But I mean, but the art is like Kyle Hotz, which is always amazing. I like seeing Eddie's powers. He seems pretty OP. I'm going to have to see what they do in 200, because if we go to Extreme Carnage and he has this amount of power, I don't know how it's going to buy it over that well. But
I just wanted to touch on one thing, a bit of a hot take. I've never been the biggest fan of Kyle Hotz. Like, especially when he draws Carnage, he draws the all red, white teeth.
Yeah.
Don't like that. But I will say, Kyle Hotz, he killed it with how the shark looked. Like, it looked menacing.
See, I think what helps him here was just the black and whites. If there was a lot more color, like I think it would have been thrown off a little bit. But I do like the black and white and the red. You are right, like with the teeth though, because there's a lot of times where he, draws the teeth separately, but then he colors them white. But I think this story had a different colorist, I think. So they had someone else do the colors, and they just decided we got to make his teeth red. So they're separated, but they're red. And just an off-topic thing. There's the Mafex Carnage, and then on the front it has a Kyle Hotz photo of Mind Bomb. Where he's sitting in his cell. Then the original comic, he has white teeth, but on the cover of this Mafex one, he has the colored red. So,
really?
Oh yeah. So there's always this thing about we got to make his teeth red. So, but hopefully they'll get through to some folks, because
I prefer red to white. So
yeah,
black obviously ideal.
Yeah, but there's just some folks who still want to just make his teeth, white. But anyway, it's still a good story.
Yeah.
Like we said, he's just kind of hanging out. This doesn't really make it entirely well. This just goes back to the thing. Like, is this actually Carnage? Is this like Grendel? Like amalgamation, and it's just the whole mess. But I think at this point we're just assuming this is just going to be Carnage.
If he's still alive here, I'm assuming this is just going to be Carnage going forward. Like, I know it's technically the Grendel, but like they said, like there was that bit with Donny with Dylan like clarifying. Well, actually, it's the Grendel. Like, no, it's Carnage. We know it's Carnage. Just right. It's Carnage now. It's totally absorbed his personality.
Yeah,
it's just like I'd be fine if Cletus going forward doesn't get his real body back. If Cletus is just a symbiote now, I think that's kind of an interesting to do. It'd be unique for him to just be a shape-shifting symbiote, and it sort of strengthens the fact that he is Carnage.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like they are. Kate is writing this just to wrap up the loose end of the Carnage. Like, I feel like we're not going to see this Grinlo again, like it's killed, but I think going into Extreme, we're going to see Alchemex or someone has his corpse, because we don't know what happened to his corpse, and they're just going to take back. I don't know, like it's either going to grow back or it's just the red goblin sample.
Here's a random question. The red goblin sample. I was about to ask. We've never seen what happened to that, did we?
Yeah, didn't it just fly off and after the end of 800, right? Like
didn't they suck some out of Normie?
Well, yeah, but didn't they're gonna fight and then Spider-Man's like, oh well, like they're not gonna blame you, they're gonna blame Cletus Cassidy, so he rips it off and doesn't just go away. We don't know where it goes.
You're just gonna explode it in the. There's like a gas explosion.
I don't know.
It's slot. I don't care.
But you can't kill Carnage. Carnage is always going to come back. He's one of those horror villains. He never stays dead. So they'll make it work somehow. But I guess they really haven't clarified if they're bringing back Cletus. They've just said Carnage, and I'm more interested in Cletus coming back than Flash, because Cletus coming back is kind of what, like,
you're in the minority, maybe.
Yeah, but
no, we know he's going to be affecting his symbiote siblings somehow with the
so he's making his own little army of folks.
And I know we've sort of theorized that maybe he's going to be the devil of the symbiote somehow. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a fun idea.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what power up is he going to get so he can avoid Eddie's hype. But anyway,
I did like how that was probably one of my favorite parts. He's like, "Get the hell out of my head, Rock! Piss off!"
Oh yeah, yep. But yeah, I like it.
Decent first story.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, then moving on, we have the next story, which is My Red Hands. Writer Chip Zdarsky and artist Marco Checchetto dives into the poisonous influence Carnage has on a dysfunctional family and a young tortured boy. So this is the first of two Chip Zdarsky stories we get to review today, and we'll discuss later our thoughts on Zdarsky and the future of Venom. But I think I really liked this story. It was pretty good. Not entirely sure where it fits in canon, because so far it seems like each issue of Black, White, and Blood has at least one canonical story, and I think Carnage Shark is definitely the canonical story, but I think My Red Hands could possibly be canonical as well.
It's got the potential to take place somewhere.
But it seems like this one's kind of playing it loosey goosey.
Especially with that ending.
Yeah, we didn't really have to have Spider-Man in this one. I would have been fine if it was just a story about Carnage corrupting a kid. But I guess it's an added bonus that we see him fighting Spider-Man. But yeah, it is kind of loosey goosey on that.
Of the three stories in this book, this is probably my favorite. This is the Daredevil creative team, and Marco Checchetto is one of the best Marvel artists, in my opinion. And so I loved his Carnage, especially with the black, white, and red colors. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. And then my favorite little detail is how everything's in black and white except for Carnage and the barn. So the barn being red, I really like and
a lot of the time, and then a lot of the times, didn't he not color Carnage red? It was he was just black and white for a while, and then until he starts putting the claws on him.
Yeah, I guess it's just to symbolize something, but yeah, there's a few. But I liked it. It's kind of he's torturing Spider-Man by making him, or by by having a kid kill his dad, and his dad apparently worked at Ravencroft, I guess.
Was it Rikers?
Was it? I got it right here. Let me see. Ravencroft. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, just the concept of Cletus being the monster in the closet is just a really fun one. Just like right. I just want to know, how long was he sitting in that kid's closet?
I don't know. I think I might have preferred it if it was Venom instead of Spider-Man, because I kind of want to see Mark draw like a classic Venom, because I don't think he's done that. Like he did some Agent Venom stuff, but he never did like a classic Venom, like as far as I know. But still a good story.
Would you want a black, white blood for Venom?
I think I would have liked them to have done a Venom, but I guess Carnage makes sense,
Yeah, with the blood theme. But I mean, they could still do a black, white blood because got the red tongue and whatnot, and then you could put some blood details in there.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be blood, because the series is black, white, and red. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Wolverine's got one, so he doesn't have any red on him.
Right, and like, so like, didn't we kind of say they kind of made this as like Carnage is like coming back sort of, series and trying to tie into the movie, but then the movie got pushed back again.
No, this was definitely supposed to highlight Carnage, and then
yeah, well, I guess now they're using it as an excuse, like to show them, like Carnage is coming back for this event they're doing called Extreme Carnage. Yeah. But, I can't complain. Like I need some some Carnage stuff. Because hasn't he been dead for what, 2 years now, or is it 1 year? Let's see, when was Absolute? Wasn't Absolute in 18, or was it 19?
I think it's 18. 19. Anyway. 19, because 2018 was the new Spider-Man. Yeah,
right.
Venom.
Right. But yeah, so I'm happy some folks got their Carnage content, and it's not have to be set in canon. There's all these different stories that are nice.
One thing I want to ask about this story, the ending. So, what are we assuming happened in the end? That like a part of the Carnage symbiote went off and went to the kid? As the little tendril crawls onto him, right?
Or is it crawling away?
Yeah,
from him?
That's the obscure thing, because the whole story has him basically kind of take on the Carnage symbiote and killing his father or whatever. But that ending, it could be either way. It could be the symbiote either crawling towards him again or away from him, and the captions leading towards the end is it's a bit confusing, because it could be taken either way. It was like this kid wants to be alone or something. I was like, I don't know. It could be either way.
Or it could be like the symbiote is going toward the kid, because in that panel he's hugging his mom, and then the next thing is a red bar, so maybe it makes him murder his mom right after that.
That's what my first thought. That's what I thought it was going, because it ends with a red flash.
Well, I mean, it's just left up to your own interpretation.
Yeah, I think it was definitely put vague on purpose, which is kind of a neat twist to a short little story like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to explore our personal thoughts on that.
Yeah.
But no, it was a very good story. Probably my favorite of the bunch.
Yeah.
I'd love to see more of Marco's Carnage. It was gorgeous.
Yep.
All right, and then the final story is My Name is Carnage. Writer Ram V and artist Javier Fernandez tell a tale of an expeditionary team that finds more than what they bargained for while hunting down a previously lost meteorite. So this feels like just another symbiote adaptation of John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, like I was getting the Thing, I was getting It vibes. There's all these different stories about how like these folks like go off in the winter and they like run into a monster. So it's like one of those sort of stories. I mean, I wouldn't say it's anything spectacular, but again, like the art's always nice. It's not set in any canon, so just like this giant rock falls down and the symbiote starts murdering everything, and then it wants to go out and kill everything else. So it is kind of a thing, but I still liked it. I like it.
No, it was good, and for whatever reason, I doubt you guys will get this, but for whatever reason, parts of this reminded me of a Canadian poem called "The Cremation of Sam McGee," but that's a whole other thing entirely. I doubt you guys have ever heard of that.
Nope.
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah, and it's I do like the what's the setting? I was trying to think environment. I couldn't find the word. But yeah, I do really like the setting of this one. It is like this Arctic expedition or whatever, and just like there's a monster in the woods there's some like native, I guess not Native American, it's just First Nations legends in there, and tying into that. It's just I always do like the stories where there's like the Carnage is trying to get to the one killer or whatever, trying to bring that out of them. So it was a fairly simple story. Like I don't think there's nothing too deep about it, but it was enjoyable for what we got. Probably like it was definitely my least favorite of the three, but I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just like the other two I like more. But I did really like how he drew like the symbiote like crawling over the guy's face to reveal that he's Carnage. That's a really nice panel, like that stick looking smile. Yeah. And plus, I did like another panel where it's instead of having Carnage be red, he has all the background red with Carnage jumping at him, all in the black and white. So I really do like how they're playing around with the colors. Like I think it's a very cool format. Because I know they're doing that for Batman. Batman's got a black and white book, doesn't he?
Maybe. Who knows?
I know that Harley Quinn has one.
Yeah, she has a black, white, and red as well. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so like everyone's doing that whole thing to rip each other off. Okay.
You know what they should for Venom? Black, white, and blue.
Black, white, and blue. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be cool with like little blue highlights. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should be down for that.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Overall, I think is a pretty good issue.
Yep.
Still enjoying. I'm still enjoying this anthology series. I'm looking forward to the next issue.
Yeah, and like, what's happening in the next issue again? I completely forgot.
We have a Dan Slott story.
Right, and that's
like in the preview, you saw him like taking on a band or something.
Right, and that's kind of amusing. Canon fit in there somewhere.
I think it was supposed to originally be during Maximum Carnage, but then it's now changed.
And now it's just a random Carnage kills everyone story. So
and then there's I can't remember who's writing the last one, but it's Avidal is drawing it in a convention. Pirate was the first one.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh,
so Pirate is the first one. Alternate Cletus and his Carnage crew for in the pirate world, and then a convention for the last one, which is going to be interesting.
The convention one looks fun. Like I think he's going to be like hanging around a convention and they just kills everyone. So that sounds like fun. Like I hope he has a pile of like all of the Spider-Man and like Deadpool folks in a corner.
Like gonna kill all the flossing Deadpool.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be funny. That'd be funny. Like, yeah. So I'm expecting good things from that one.
I'm definitely interested, but yeah, I think this is a pretty good mini so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our next review, which is Spider-Man Spider Shadow #1. We're treated once again to another Chip Zdarsky symbiote story in this What If limited series. Yeah. This explores a dark world in which Peter Parker never rejected the symbiote. Joined by artist Pascal Ferry and colorist Matt Hollingsworth, Spider Shadow arguably proves to be the better of the current Symbiote Spider-Man stories, apart from Peter David's ongoing Symbiote Spider-Man miniseries.
Whoa now! Let's not get that far ahead.
I mean, it's done so well so far. They've added an issue to the lineup.
Yeah. Has it?
Yeah.
It's now a 5-issue.
Yeah, it used to be 4 issues. Now it's 5 issues and I think the first issue sold out already.
Yeah, like there's already a second print of it. Huh. Well,
but before we even get into the story, I just want to say that I really do like that they're giving What Ifs minis now, and like they even gave a new What If logo for this, and I just think that's
really What Ifs.
Yeah, What Ifs are great, and the fact that they're giving these stories room to breathe now, rather than having to wrap everything up in one issue is really interesting. And I really hope we get to see more of this.
Oh yeah, like my father has like all of the what ifs, and like I used to read a lot of those, and like he has, I think, most of the what ifs, and I just love like alternate tale stuff, so I'm hyped about this one.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked this. I like the fact that it's a limited series, and even the new Spider-Man design for this, where he's kind of Venom, kind of becoming a kind of Venom, looks pretty interesting.
Like Spider-Mandible teeth things going on.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and there's a lot.
I
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in addition to that, I'm usually a purist for the symbiote suit. Like I'm like the classic symbiote suit is my favorite look in all of comics.
Same.
But I will admit that for an alternate look, this is a pretty cool look. The fact that it's taking these exaggerated like spider features and like, ramping it up. It is a very interesting look for an alternate take.
Like if the spider symbol was more of the same, I mean, I just don't like any spider symbol that's not, the regular.
Honestly, that's completely fair. Like if it didn't go over the shoulders, I would probably like that more.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of any spider symbols. Like even like a Flash Thompson's, I just don't like it being spread out.
That's fair. Totally fair. I mean, the classic Venom logo is solid. It's just
right, yeah. And it has to wrap around the entire, like torso. You can't have it like not on the back or whatever. Right?
Pasted on front.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely a really good story. Is it just me, or am I misremembering this? But the whole plot of the Hobgoblin killing Aunt May, wasn't that covered in one of the Symbiote Spider-Man books?
That was.
I want to say, it
was an alien reality.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to say the main reason they did that was because there was a story that happened, back in the day with the symbiote suit, but I honestly don't remember. I could be I'm probably wrong about that, but I don't think it's a coincidence that they used the Hobgoblin twice. So I want to say there's an old story about that. But...
I'm pretty sure that was during the Hobgoblin saga. Like that was the whole thing. Like, who is the Hobgoblin?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, did it happen like during the symbiote suit time?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Did. Yeah, I have a couple of those issues.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think it is a coincidence that both writers had the Hobgoblin killing Aunt May. I don't think they're stealing from that. I think he needs to have Spider-Man be darker, and so killing Aunt May is a good way to do that.
That's really fair. Yeah.
But I really think that I'll get into my thoughts on the story in a second, but the art is so good for the story.
Oh yeah.
The fact
this is like Pascal Ferry.
Yeah.
I don't know what else this artist has done, but it's so well done here, and it's just I love that the fact that he barely shaded the symbiote at all, and it's mostly just flat, and it just makes it stand out and look way more alien. I love it, and plus those gorgeous colors, like when he's standing over the city with the oranges and the blues, and then even in the end with when he starts like transforming into this more monstrous version, there's that like the part where you see like part of his skull in the reflection or whatever.
Now that's something
it's so cool looking.
That's something I want to touch on. I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of flaming skull imagery in this issue that's making me think Ghost Rider might come and play sometime later.
No, you're looking too far into it. I think it's just a really cool artsy looking thing.
Oh yeah, so I really like this issue. I do have a few complaints. Like this is just a minor thing. I would have really liked if the symbiote stayed and it's kind of just wavy like cloth form, And like back in the day, you didn't have like tendrils going on. It was just kind of like a piece of cloth that kind of moved back and forth. And I think I would have liked that a little bit more. But like it is what it is. Like we're about to talk about how like the symbiote influences Peter in a second, but that's just one of the things that has just changed over the years. Like now we have symbiote Spider-Man has like these goo-like tendrils, and like now the symbiote's evil and like affects your mind. That's one of the things you got to accept, I guess. But I would have preferred the just the cloth look.
Yeah, just have it like slid across the floor and all that. Yeah.
That's fair.
But onto the story. I think I really like, probably one of my favorite parts of this story is the fact that, there's the whole thing with the symbiote affecting and all that, but the fact that when he goes to read, he just says no. I've always wanted to see that, and the fact that like the two favorite things I've wanted to see is always what if the symbiote actually talked to him, which we got to see, and then what if he just said no to Reed? Like, this thing has only helped me. Even sure.
For me, like that should have been the moment where it is different from like the original story. Like, I think a few times before, the symbiote said a few things like no, so he's kind of getting the idea that's like talking to him. But I would have preferred if we never heard anything from the symbiote, and it's not like the symbiote's affecting his mind. It's just that this time he said no to Reed.
Like,
and that's where it,
Yeah. I just think it was smart to do that, just so it, like, because they build up that feeling that Peter really doesn't want to get rid of this, and like he's got this connection with it. And so I think the fact that does just help nail down the fact that Peter knows that this is a living being, and I've been doing well with this, and so I don't want to just give it up because you say so.
Yeah,
because that was in the original story. That's what it was. It was just like, oh, that thing's a parasite. Really, you get it off.
Yeah.
And so even though,
I like that this whole story is just playing up the whole drug addiction metaphor. It's Peter is just going through a lot of shit in his life, and
but again, like, you can have Peter Parker being an asshole. You don't have to have like the symbiote is the main thing that affected him.
I don't
like in that one scene, like right.
I don't feel like the symbiote. I don't think it feel like the symbiote's really affecting him, like turning him evil. It's rather just Peter has all this pressure on him, and now he gets this new alien thing on him that's making him more powerful, opening up some new opportunities for him, and it's just it's enabling him, and so he draws on that power, and he doesn't want to let go of it.
Like, the symbiote is because it is like enabling him, because like when he fights Hobgoblin, it's saying kill him, scare him, like power through the fear. But I would have just preferred if we didn't hear the symbiote at all, and they made a point to say it's not affecting your mind. You're just being an asshole.
See, this is where I'll agree with Aaron for sure. Because I think I've talked at length before that I've never been a fan of that retcon of the symbiote, like making it more evil / darker.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I will say that I think this is handling it better. And just the fact that it's more subtle. It's more subtle. It's just that because the symbiote's not just being like, oh yes, I'm evil now. Like, give in to your instincts, Peter. It's more just like about self-preservation.
Yeah.
And it's just a fact. Right. And so it is a more interesting take that it is just, it does like Peter. It wants to be with him, but it does go a bit too far sometimes, like you said, where it just wants him to kill Hobgoblin, etc. But like, I guess you could sort of like interpret that as it feeding off his own rage. And so, but it's just a fact that, like we said, it's the symbiote. It's just Peter is stressed in this, and in no small part due to the low amount of sleep he's getting. But I think overall it is much more subtle, and it's not just like symbiote evil. It's the symbiote's there with him, and it's working with him.
Yeah,
it's just.
Yeah, this is more. This is Zdarsky showing more of a symbiotic relationship between Peter and the symbiote. Like, the symbiote is only doing what comes naturally, and it's just trying to survive. And to do that, it's playing upon Peter's insecurities and everything to make sure that Peter depends on the symbiote. And Peter's whatever. The only thing Peter's really getting out of it, is this kind of confidence, or the power of the symbiote.
The black cat.
Yeah, so I just love that, it's not just playing up the drug metaphor, but it's also playing up that this is Peter forming a true symbiotic bond with the symbiote, whereas in the beginning, back then, it was really just Peter benefiting from the symbiote, and then when he finds out, the symbiote is, alive and everything, it's like, oh, screw that, get that off of me.
Yeah. And do you think this symbiote is like causing the nightmares?
I don't think so. I think the symbiote is just bringing those fears to the forefront. Like, Peter
with
has
all the stress and all that.
Yeah, Peter already has all of these insecurities, so the symbiote is just using that.
Yeah, but the thing is, from the solicitations we've seen, it seems like issue 5 is like he's like finally free of the symbiote. He's he's a good boy now. So it like I don't know.
We'll see. Overall, I think this has been a better attempt at this sort of story because the original "What if he kept the symbiote" is not good. It's not. No. The symbiote is just like mustache twirling evil.
Like, I'm gonna bond with Hulk now, Thor.
Yeah, I'm gonna make all these other Venoms, and we're just gonna be Venom.
Yeah.
But overall, I think this is a much stronger handling of this sort of story. Even if I don't totally agree with some of the stuff, like you said, but overall, I still do think it is a self-preservation thing. Like when it doesn't want to save Aunt May, not because it doesn't want Peter to save her, just because it wants to save itself.
Yeah, because fire bad.
Yeah, fire bad.
Fire bad. Yeah, and I'm hoping Chip Zdarsky throws in a Eddie Brock cameo because he.
I was about to ask. Do you think Eddie's going to show up in this?
Eddie has always made a cameo in these what ifs. Like you had what if Punisher, he was walking into the church. You had what if Deadpool, and he was one of the photographers. So if he doesn't make an appearance, I'm gonna be pissed, and I'll let Chip know he's ruining it. I'll let him know.
But because Chip still hasn't written Eddie, right?
He hasn't written Eddie.
In our pod, he's made mentions of him. He's talked about Eddie, but he's never had Eddie speaking in one of his comics. Correct?
No.
He drew him once as Classic Venom in Spectacular, just in one panel, but I don't think he's ever had Eddie talk. We've never seen Chip Zdarsky's Eddie Brock, really.
Yeah, and he wasn't in Life Story either, but I guess I'll forgive that. But
yeah, they kind of crammed for time there.
Yeah, but I mean, they got 5 issues. I would sincerely hope he would find a way to put Eddie in there somewhere. Even if it's just he just runs to a cameraman and he gets pissed and you can have a scene where he's beating up the bad guys and then Eddie's taking photos and he's and he just kills them because he's taking photos and he doesn't want to see. I mean, that'd be fine with me, but
I want to say I'd rather
film in somewhere.
I'd rather not have Zdarsky make Eddie a photographer. He's a journalist, damn it.
I mean, sure.
That's fair. I'm with Orion.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no way that the last issue is the symbiote latches onto Eddie Brock and then we have SpiderMan Venom, right? There's no way, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they can. But, I don't know if he's going to end this with the symbiote. But I don't think the symbiote's going to go to Eddie after if he abandons it.
Yeah, the issue 4 or 5 says he's free of it now, but I don't think Chip's going to do anything with Eddie. I just want a cameo. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested to see where the story goes from here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here. So, and it's a good thing to, to hold us off until the next Venom series and everything.
Yep.
Speaking of that series, should we quickly go into that before we talk about the other book?
Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. And it really has to do with the recent news from the Free Comic Book Day SpiderMan Venom issue.
And just going to preface this is mostly speculation.
Yes.
We don't know anything for sure.
Yes.
But
basically, we don't know who the creative team for the Venom story is in the Free Comic Book Day issue.
Because in total, there's two issues, and each of them have 2 stories.
Yep.
So we know that for the Hulk Avengers 1, we know Jason Aaron and Ivan Coelho are doing the Avengers story.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was also teased that Chip Zdarsky and Greg Smallwood are doing a story for one of these issues.
Yeah. They didn't even say which issue or which characters.
Yes.
But why would you even have to hide that? The only reason they would hide it is if they're doing Venom, because we already know who's on Hulk and who's on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So the only reason to hide it is if they're doing Venom.
Yeah. So
but, I mean, again, there's no reason to hide it unless it's Venom. But
because really at this point we still don't know what this next Venom series is going to look like. We don't know who's going to be on it. Only Donny Cates and editorial really know who's going to be the next creative team. But given that Zdarsky and Smallwood have been name dropped for this, and given the fact that Zdarsky has now worked on 2 different symbiote stories and has worked on symbiote stories in the Venom stuff in the past,
SpiderMan Venom stuff,
and also the fact that Zdarsky is very close with Stegman and Cates, and their whole their whole rivalry and everything.
Donny seems excited because he trusts like new guys that are on the team.
Yeah,
and of course we don't know who that is, but that ticks that box off.
So really, even though this is just speculation, I'm saying all signs are pointing towards Zdarsky and Smallwood being the creative team for the Venom story in Free Comic Book Day, if not the next Venom series.
Yeah, that was my guess as well, and I'd be so down for that team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Smallwood because he did the art for the second
Savage Avengers.
Yeah, he did Savage Avengers, but he also did the art for the second with Brian Wood. He did the art for the Moon Knight series, the second arc right after Ellis and Shalvey.
Yeah, I mean, see, like by now we should probably already know who the new Venom series team is, because Venom 200 was supposed to come out this week, right? And they moved it all the way back a month to June. So I feel like now they would have already said who is on the team. And you got to think, if Venom 200 is a huge ass book, they're probably going to have these new guys write a story in the back of it, right?
I would assume so. That's what always happens, the big issues. So.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that it's those 2 guys. But again, there's no reason to hide it if they're not doing Venom. But yeah, I mean, I'm down for it. So
I think we also have to in guessing, because I think there's a strong chance that this is true. But because I think in general it's a process of elimination as well. You look at the others, because it's obviously the 3 titles that they could be doing are either Hulk, Venom, or Spider-Man. I don't think it's going to be Hulk, because Hulk is going to be ending pretty soon after that, right? Because Ewing has said he's finishing with Hulk. He's got an end in mind. I don't think that it's been solicited yet. The story's still going, but he does have an end in mind. So I that's going to be coming to a close pretty soon. But I don't think Zdarsky, because usually with the Free Comic Day issues, they're advertising the current or next writer. That's what it was with the last 2, what we always had. But yeah, so I don't think Zdarsky is the kind of person to write Hulk. I don't know. He's never really written Hulk before. It doesn't seem
I can't see that.
Yes, and then you have Spider-Man, and I don't think Zdarsky is going to go doing amazing. And we already have a satellite title with Nonstop with Joe Kelly. I don't, and plus Zdarsky already has Chance Spectacular. I don't think he'd be doing that, even though Spider-Man is within his wheelhouse. It's possible they're just getting him to write a one-off for the Free Comic Book Day and just separated from the main title, but I kind of doubt that.
Yeah.
And so it really does just all signs point to Venom because of that. And just, he's had symbiote experience, and like you said, he's getting more and more symbiote experience with the Spider Shadow and the Carnage story.
Yeah, we said this a while ago, and I don't know when I said this, but I'm pretty sure, I said at some point that maybe this new Spider's Shadow is kind of just a trial run for him for Venom.
Yeah,
but
now
I don't know.
I will mention this, that perhaps it would be of benefit to review our episode 39, in which you guys had interviewed Zdarsky. Because I think because I recently re-listened to it, because I wasn't on that episode, but I re-listened to it, and I'm pretty
also, it's
sure
hilarious, and anybody who hasn't listened to it should listen to it anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were maybe a hint.
It's super scuffed as hell, but it's still funny.
Yeah, I think there was maybe a hint or two of he was kind of playing coy with the whole, I haven't written Eddie Brock Venom or whatever yet. So I think
I don't know. Like I feel like that was far too out, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what Marvel plans like 6 months in advance, don't they?
I mean, I guess, but we were all kind of thinking that the end of like King in Black, like is the end for Donny and Ryan was kind of sudden. But I mean, I don't know. Like maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, like all signs point to Chip. So we have to,
fingers crossed.
Yeah, like we have to get him back on and like initiate him.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Do something like we have to run him through all of the mean fanboy trivia, like all of the questions.
We're gonna do the good old the Venom site hazing.
Where is Xenophage? Like when are you going to bring
back Scorn coming back?
Yeah.
Where's Crowbar?
Do everything we ask you to do. Do everything you want to do.
I still remember that in the original Donny one we did before he started the series. We asked him about Toxin and Scorn. I do remember that. And where's the dog? We did. And we asked where the dog is coming, and then he brought back the dog with Absolute Carnage.
Oh yeah, like we should say bring back Sleeper, or else we're gonna boycott. Sleeper or boycott.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
All right. Well.
Anyway, I guess we should probably wrap up King in Black, huh?
Yeah. So before, so after we've looked forward to what's in the future of Venom, let's go ahead and look back and speed through our rapid fire reviews of the final King in Black tie-ins. We got 3 today. We have Fantastic Four number 30. So is this essential? No. Is it Venomaniacs recommended? No. Really, there's plenty of symbiote action in the beginning, but kind of like the rest of these final tie-ins, it felt like it was very eager to be done with the whole event. It was like really rushing towards the end.
Yeah, all 3 of these final tie-ins are just like they weren't even needed really. Like only Fantastic Four, because like half of the story is at least symbiote related, with the Null taken over by, or Ben and Johnny taken over with Sky as well, I guess. And plus Valerie, I think, also gets symbiote in this issue. But it really does just end abruptly, like halfway through. It's like, all right, we're done with King of Black, and then it's just going on Fantastic Four stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's just your like regular, like our 2 friends are bad and they say bad things about us story. But like I didn't mind it. But like just the fact that they come after the 5th issue is just kind of ugh.
Yeah.
And it's even worse in the next issue we're going to talk about.
So Avengers number 45, is it essential? No. Is it recommended? No. This wasn't even worth picking up for the 1 page. I think not even 1 page. It was like 1 or 2 panels of King in Black tie-in content.
I think it was 1 full page spread of like of Ghost Rider driving through New York with the dragons flying above him, and it was just recapping. King in Black is over. And then it's just dealing with vampires that we saw in King in Black for like 1 page. So, see, the thing is, I don't usually like Jason Aaron, and this story is, I didn't actually mind it with Blade becoming the sheriff of Vampire Town, except this didn't need to be a King in Black tie-in. If this didn't have the tie-in on it, I don't even if you include the 1 page of symbiote content, I don't think anybody would have cared that this isn't a tie-in.
Yeah. Like I didn't. I even took it off of my chronology projects. I was like, no, this doesn't even. You don't even need to read this. It doesn't need to be counted.
It's not.
Like we've had a few books. We've had a few books before that have not had like the King in Black tie-in, but they've had like a page of like a dragon or something. So
like that Atlantis Attacks number 5, where it was just the last page.
Didn't the sword? Like one of the sword ones, like didn't have like a King in Black.
Yeah, it was
logo on it, but it had like a dragon or something on it. But
the second issue it was all about Manifold. Yeah, and it was just what he was doing.
Yeah, but I don't think those had like King in Black logos on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think all 3 issues did.
Yeah,
I don't know, because I could swear there was a story that like didn't have the logo on it, but it still had a. But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, so that was that one, and not even worth talking about. Then there's King in Black Namor number 5. Is it essential? No. Is it recommended? No. And my only thing is, finally, King in Black, no more.
Yeah, no more Namor.
I don't even read these, honestly.
It's not worth it at all. I have been like I've talked about this in other places. Like I do some Spider-Man reviews and whatnot, and I've been trashing this series so hard just because in an entire mini, this is the first issue we have gotten symbiotes, and it's only for 2 pages. It's only 2 pages during the big battle with Null or whatever. And also I like that you see Taskmaster and Batroc in the background from the Thunderbolt series, but literally only 2 pages where we're seeing symbiotes in 5 whole issues. I did the math, and it was like, I think it was like 98 pages total, not counting recap pages or like to be continued, like the next preview of the next cover or whatever. And literally 2 pages in this entire 5-issue mini. This is all we get. And like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, oof. The majority of the story, I can't remember, is like 86 pages or something, or like is all dedicated to Namor flashback scenes. And I don't care about that at all. It's just, like 86% is Namor flashback scenes of the story of how they recruited the Dark Tide or whatever, what happened to that. And it's not a good story. It's not a good story at all. There's a magic rock that turns them bad, and then a goldfish swallows the rock, and then he mutates, but then he's still good because apparently he's too pure to be corrupted. And then Namor builds an underwater boat, and then he pulls people with the boat, and the fish vomits up the magic rock, and then they use the magic rock to freeze the other guy. It's awful. It's awful. Like, even if you like Namor, I don't care about it. This is a bad story. This has nothing to do with King in Black. And then the other, like, I think 10% or like 12% of the book that isn't during the King in Black takes place after the event. Like, it's dispersed throughout the issues where it's like, I remember we were talking about this, like the second issue came out or something, and they were talking about King in Black after it was over. They're like, oh yeah, Null was a bad threat, like during the King in Black event as it's going on. They basically spoil that everything. I mean, we knew it was going to go fine in the end because the heroes will save the day. But they straight up like, yeah, Null was tough, right? But now we got this other threat. It's like, what? King of Black's on like issue 2 or 3. What are you talking about? I have a very personal vendetta against the series. I cannot imagine spending the money on this. Like, it's awful. It's so bad.
I regret.
Nice art, though, is what I'll say.
I regret purchasing almost all of these tie-ins.
I mean,
you should.
I got all of them in all the variants that my LCS had. So I don't know, man.
Overall, Absolute Carnage much better for tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, overall, the whole King in Black thing, like I said, long before King in Black started, I was already done with it, and I'm ready to move on.
You know what? I got flashback by the end of it, so I'm happy.
Yeah, and I like the Captain Venom. You know, like I've said this online a few times. I'm just kind of disappointed you can't see the stars because I've seen only a little bit, a handful of like fan art for him, and no one has drawn the stars. So
yeah, give me the constellation, baby.
Oof. But you know, at least this is like another costume we can have for him. Like if we ever get a Venom game or some other Spider-Man like Unlimited kind of game, you know, just another like alternate costume for Venom, like that would be fine with me. So it's something at least.
Yeah. All right. Well, that closes out today's episode. We'll review May's symbiote comic releases at the end of the month. Hopefully by then we'll have some news to discuss about the next Venom series.
That'll be close to my birthday. I would really like to get more info on Venom for my birthday.
Yes.
Yeah, and we should probably have like a preview by then of issue 200. So we got a new variant today, so I think variants are going to start like popping off soon.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
And then maybe we'll get some information about a certain trailer.
No.
No, I'm remaining pessimistic about that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard something about the trailer coming maybe tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but like tomorrow never comes. So.
All right. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, then. You can listen to We Are Venomaniacs on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Music and iTunes, Audible, and YouTube. We can be found on Twitter at WAV_podcast. Check out the Discord server where you can geek out with a community of Venomaniacs like us. As always, thank you to my fellow co-hosts Tyler and Aaron for joining me today.
Always glad to be here. Lots of fun.
And thanks to the Venom site for permitting us to make this podcast under the TVS banner and all of your generous support. And finally, thank you, loyal listeners and fellow Venomaniacs. You guys make an awesome community, and it's an honor to be your voice on the airwaves. Together, we are Venomaniacs.